Hi, and welcome to the show. This is going to be, excuse me, this is a time when I'm doing what I call a video response. Now, let me make sure my fro is right. And I'm almost out of it. I know I have a guest, but you guys just have to wait just a minute. There we go. Okay, because I tell you my fro is getting so big that I can't really keep it in the screen. Okay, but yes, let's get to the video response. Today, I'm going to do one in a series of video responses because I think it's really important that I respond to you guys and directly to your specific things, and that's so crucial. So with that being said, this video response is for one of, well, actually she's a professional who actually has our hair product, my hair products, the hair nutrition system in the Virgin Island. And she's got questions and it's a focus group. And I thought instead of just sending the response to her, I'll send it to all of you guys, but I don't think she'll mind me calling her name. Her name is Denise. Hi, Denise, and your focus group. Thank you so much. I'm going to speak directly to you guys. Now, I have a list of questions here, but first I want to introduce Nisi, and you'll see her a lot because Nisi is going to be involved in our Gift the Length program, but she has very similar hair, and we're just going to take her hair down. So while I'm speaking to you guys and answering some of your questions, I'm going to have Nisi take her hair down. And Nisi has very similar hair to your hair, Denise, and to some of the other ladies who have sent in questions for me. And basically what we can do, and I'm going to help her a little bit, just because she doesn't know what to do. But we're going to make sure now, while you're taking your hair down, always remember to take a small amount of our oil sheen in a jar, and you have some. There you go. We're going to get that. There you go. And this is just our oil sheen in a jar. And then why do we say to do that? Because if you lubricate your fingertips, then you have an opportunity to see how smooth that is. And it's kind of sliding over your hair. So you have an opportunity to be really friendly to the cuticle. And when you're damaging or not so friendly or rough, in other words, with your cuticle, then you're going to find your hair tearing and you're going to find it tangling more and all those kinds of things. But Nisi has very similar hair to your hair, Denise, in some of the images you guys sent me. So I'm going to get right to your questions while she's taking her hair down. She said there are 6 participants and 3 of the 4 have the same hair type with varying degrees of kinkiness or dryness. We all started out with very particular participant without very, oh, I don't know. I'm just not reading your questions well. She said, we all started out very well, particularly participant number 1 who had locks. So she has locks and she started working with clarifying her hair, and then the hair became dry. Initially she said it was okay, like some of the others, but it became dry. Now let's talk about clarifying. And I'm going to work with Nisi, and again, we're lubricating our fingers and we're just kind of sliding down and we're really reversing the hair so that we don't have a problem with pulling. You can see I'm just taking the hair, finding my little end, and I'm reversing it. And then I'm going to show you without me doing that, and you'll see the difference. Okay, and so first you have to think about what clarifying does. Clarifying puts the hair at a pure natural state. Now, we are, most of you guys out there are absolutely afraid of clarifying. I feel like my hair is doing something weird. I'm thinking now, I think it's better. Of clarifying, but Webster defines clarifying as to put it at a pure natural state. So putting your hair at a pure natural state is going to mean whatever state of health it is in. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have healthy hair because you use a clarifying shampoo, and it doesn't necessarily mean that if you don't use a clarifying shampoo that you're going to have damaged hair, or if you use it it's going to make your hair healthy or whatever. It's not going to make a difference in the health of your hair. What it's going to do is going to put your hair to pure natural state, whatever that health may be. Now, it takes a couple of shampoos sometimes, depending on your buildup. If it's a truly negative buildup, you've been using products that are not clean, in other words, products with a ton of fillers, and we tend to do that, especially natural ladies, because we have this dry hair, so we use lots of fillers and cones and all these products to conditioning shampoos and clays and all these things to give our hair what we believe will be healthy. And then we don't clean as often because we are really afraid, as women of color with dry, kinky hair, and women in general. I'm seeing there's just a movement and we're staying away from shampoos. So a lot of times our hair is just not clean. Now, many times we'll hear individuals say, well, I can use a clay, or I can use apple cider vinegar to clean my hair. Now, what a clay, the benefits of a clay and and apple cider vinegar, and I'll separate them so we're like right there, yay. Apple cider vinegar is, the apple cider vinegar is going to break up and break down. And so what you're going to do is get a lot of that buildup off the top of the hair, but it doesn't clean. So it breaks up, breaks down, but it doesn't cleanse it away. So once the dust settles, it settles back on the hair. So you still have some residue of product. Hair being a dead substance, most people think that's okay. So I'll just let that little residue sit there and I'll be okay. But over a period of time, it causes a negative buildup. So you end up having an adverse effect. And with your clay, clay is wonderful. It's of the earth. It's an herb. It is beautiful. So it gives your hair some really wonderful, dense, natural protein without really dehydrating. The other problem is it will not rinse as clean from the hair. So over a period of time, you feel like you have this buildup. So you pile on more products and you never really truly feel your hair. So if you could feel my hair right now, it feels really healthy. You can feel that it's hair, not that something's there on top of it. It's hair. And that's what we don't really get. So we're never able to really get into our hair and super clean it. Now, a lot of people are afraid of that. Why do we need to super clean it? We need to clean it so that if we're going to use products that are going to build it up, make it really strong and hydrated, they have to get in, and they can't get in with all the negative buildup. You want a positive buildup, products that you can put on and they rinse clean from the hair or dissipate, but not a negative buildup, products that just stick to the hair and stay. So that's the kind of what I'm speaking of. So clarifier, you will experience a drying effect on the hair if you put your hair at a pure natural state, if you already have low moisture levels, like if your hair is already really, really dry. So why clarify? So that you can deep condition and you can balance. My hair, when I clarify, it does not dry out, even though I naturally would have dry hair. The reason is because my hair is, I have a positive buildup. In other words, my protein and moisture levels are balanced. So I'm good. So what I would suggest is you stay with it. You have to clarify. Give yourself 7 to 12 weeks of following a regimen. And we're going to talk about that regimen today. Okay. One of the things was, could I be protein sensitive? Well, it's not possible to be protein sensitive unless you are having a rash or redness or irritation. But hair itself is not going to be sensitive to anything that you put on it. Hair itself is going to either be overexposed to that. In other words, it's going to cause that hair to dry up and dry out completely and then break. So it's not like it's going to be sensitive to it. So when you say sensitive, if you mean dry, then yes. If you only use protein, it's going to dry your hair. Because hair is mostly composed of protein. It's going to strengthen it, but it's going to dry it. There's a delicate moisture and protein level that's within the hair shaft that we must always keep in mind. And that delicate moisture and protein level has to be balanced. So you have, the hair is mostly composed of protein, and you need moisture for balance. So you want strong, hydrated hair. So you've got to deep condition. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see. Okay, and you did send me some pictures, so let's get right to it. You said you had a straw-like feeling to the hair. That's drop in moisture levels. All that's telling you is that your moisture levels are low. Now, how did it get low? And I think your big thing is you want to be sure that your moisture levels are not low because of using a clarifier. The moisture levels are low because once you clarified, which put it a pure natural state, it revealed the true health of your hair. So what do? I think a lot of the things we want to think about is we want to think about how we're going to work with our hair. Now, first, I want to really get into how you should shampoo. Now, you see that on our videotape. I have a videotape of Nisi showing, and she was shampooing her hair. But just keep in mind, stay under the hair, massaging the scalp, and coming back down and rubbing on top of the hair. So you shampooing scalp and then you shampooing hair. 3 main sections. You can start at the center. You're going over the ears, under the hair. See my fingers right on top. Sliding out, smoothing down. Front hairline, you're sliding in, letting your fingers touch. Getting under the hair. Making sure you're working your entire hairline, staying under the hair. It's okay if your fingers show some because you have shorter hair around the hairline. Smoothing straight down. Same in the back. Your thumbs are touching. In the case, it's going to be the opposite. No, it'll be the same. Yeah, your thumbs are touching, pressing, and you're massaging into the hair, sliding down, rubbing your fingers straight down. Okay. All right. Now, that's one. And then you're conditioning. When you condition your hair, you've got to make sure, and let's just get the protein and moisture conditioner. There you go. It's our number 2. When you condition your hair, you first start, and I'm not going to do it because we're not shampooing. You put a small amount of conditioner on your hand. You work it on your ends, and that allows you to open the hair. And you always use a crawling technique. So you open the hair and get a section. You take your conditioner, squeeze it onto the hair, smooth it through. I'm making a mess here. Squeeze it through, smooth it. And you do the same technique with every product you put on. Same thing, you crawl in. You want to get it on the ends, then you want to get it on the hair close to the scalp, and then the body of the shaft. And you always want to make sure that you've got plenty on. Now, every time you apply your conditioner, you want to do what we call deep conditioning. Well, you can do instant conditioning sometimes, but you want to get at least 1 deep conditioning twice a week. But if you have extremely weak hair, then the twice a week is important. But once a week, if normal or healthy hair, you want to do it once a week deep conditioning. Okay. So you're going to go throughout the entire head to address some of the things really that concerns you have. Is really about product distribution. Even distribution and product placement. So let's go right to something like the vitamin. So we'll start with the hair vitamin because I know you have that product. I would say spray a little bit on your hand, rub it through, and you see you can do the other side. There you go. And I'm going to work on this side. And I'm just taking a section over here. You can do the opposite side. I know. I know it's backward. And then you rubbing it on the end. So she's going to do what I'm doing. But the difference is, you gotta see, I'm taking my time and I'm rubbing it. Yeah, there you go. Smooth down. See the difference? There you go. Because what you're doing is you're making sure that conditioner is on all parts of the hair. It's going to actually elongate this hair because what will happen, and we'll put that vitamin in the center so we can share it. Okay, no worries. Okay, and you can also spray it on the ends. Got a nice big pump there, and you're smoothing through. See, I'm getting on the ends, and these the ends. I got 3 little sections and the ends. Now, the key is the product placement at this point. So what I'm going to do while Nisi's doing that, I'm going to actually take my sprayer and I'm going to spray the vitamins on my hairline. See the vitamin on the hairline? I'm going to turn just, there we go, you're good. On her hairline. And Nisi wore braids, so we're in the process, and actually it's looking much better. We're in the process of getting her hairline back. Remember, ladies, when you wear braids, we don't want to pull our hairline because it causes traction, but she's going to be fine. So I'm taking my fingers and I'm parting. And I'm going to turn just a little bit, just like that, Nisi, so you're good. And what you're going to see is her wave pattern begin to come up. Very similar hair, but we've been working with Nisi with our hair. So her hair is actually stretched out. And I'm going to see if we have a video, a picture, a photo of her hair prior to really getting serious about using the system and really hydrating and product placement and even distribution. And you're going to see a major difference. Our hair is so much more hydrated, and this is hair that tangles. So look at what's happening. I don't have lots of hair on my fingers. Now, when you start that natural shedding that's just been sitting there, or hairs that you've torn, they'll come off first. But for the most part, when you start working with it, it's better. And see how she's getting into it? She's actually applying her products properly. So if I take my human comb, and you know I like to speak about that, and I slide it through, look what's happening. I'm able to go through her hair without tangles, but I'm evenly distributing the product. Let's take this section right here. This particular section is we're going to put hydration on. I think we should have, there it is. Now I'm going to put a small amount of hydration on the ends. See, you got to get it on the ends. Once it's on the ends, I want to see it white on there. And then I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to do this and just smooth, smooth, smooth until I can get that hydration. I know that hair is softer. Then I'm going to take my fingers. Now you're going to use more product initially. And let me just show you guys what we're using. We're using hydration. Okay, she's using hair vitamin, I'm using hydration. So I'm just gonna open up like I'm parting. So I'm gonna turn it right this way, just there we go. And I'm just gonna get it on the hair close to the scalp. If you don't get that hydration on the hair close to her scalp, then what's gonna happen when you start trying to work with the hair and it starts to dry and you're styling it, it's gonna dry out. Now, initially, you will feel like I'm in overload with my product, and you probably will be, but that's because your hair has been without it so long. Remember, you've clarified, so your hair is at a pure, natural state. It's like a person that's been starved, okay? And so what I want to do is give Nisi nice curl definition, and see how much longer her hair is beginning to look. I'm giving her curl definition, so what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to put the naturally texture, but I want you to see, and just make sure you're comfortable, Nisi. I'm going to come to you. Okay. Okay. I want you to see that it's important to evenly distribute your product. So when you go through the hair, you say, okay, well, I missed a couple of spots. Well, go back and put just a little extra product on those areas. If you don't begin to get kind of a ribbon smooth look to the hair, then you may not have enough product on. Now, so her hair is soft, it's going right through. All right, so next product we're going to use is her Naturally Textured, or you can use your Moisture Plus if you have Moisture Plus. Naturally Textured gives you a texturized look. So I'm going to take it, rub it in my hand. It's a pretty dense moisturizer, so it gives you that nice look without gels or activators. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to pull it throughout the hair, and then I'm going to evenly distribute. It's the same thing. I'm going to use it on the hair close to the scalp, and I'm going to get you to turn that way so they can stay, yeah, that way. That way. Yeah, just there. You're good. So they can see just what's beginning to happen. All right. And at some point, we're going to do something Skype, or we may do you streaming so that you guys can respond right then with your questions. And I may just even do a blog talk. You just let me know what you need, and that's how I want to respond. But I want you to see what Nisi's hair is doing. It's really, really, and I'm going to do some twists in this area, it's really doing some really great things. Her hair is evenly distributed, and even if I did like on a shampoo and go day with the product I've got on there, I could let this product go. Let's turn, and we're going to see the camera. You can see that curl pattern. See, I could just let it go, put a headband on, and it would dry that way. Okay, but let's talk about it would dry with nice definition. Let's take it and take our fingers, and we're just going to part. And I'm just going to make a nice little twist. And I want you to see this because she's had some hairline traction problems. And I'm just basically twisting and getting a nice ribbon smooth. And then I'm going to get to the end. And I'm going to get her to turn that way. There we go. The ribbon smooth. And then I'm going to let that little twist go. And you'll see that nice little twist we have there for Nisi's hair, right? Well, the thing is, if we're going to you wear this overnight, we have to put our finger under here so we have no tension, so she doesn't have tension on the hairline. Take it, twirl it around our finger, and just tuck it. And this is what I actually do each night. I just do a little curly fro, which I just twist and tuck. But the main thing is she has even distribution. If there's anything that I would have to say, it would have to be the even distribution. I just want to make sure before we close out the video that we have everything that you said. You said that some have very dry hair. You got to clarify completely. If you don't clarify completely, and when you say strip the hair, you're not stripping. When you strip the hair, you're removing what's natural and what's unnatural. Clarifying only removes what's unnatural. Just keep that in mind. So if your hair feels rough and dry, it's only because your hair is just really dry. That squeaky clean, you mentioned you have a nice clean scalp now, and you're seeing as the moisture goes away, there goes the curls. And that's true. If your moisture levels drop, your hair is going to be dry and frizzy. So we want to prevent that. Now I'm going to do a larger twist. So that's why you have to get even distribution. I can feel the hydration on her hair. You can literally see the product. Well, it seems like overload, but you're going to have to do it until your hair is healthier. It's just no way. And you always have to make sure that end is ribbon smooth as well. So you can take it and twirl it and tuck. I always make sure just my end is tucked. Just kind of like the old-fashioned afro. So I did one here, but there's no tension here, no tension here. So when she lays on that and takes it down, I'm going to take those down in a minute, but when she lays on that, then she's going to have hair that's that will allow her to move her head, and it will allow her to move without pulling her hairline. So her hairline is growing in nicely, and we wanted that to continue to happen. These little short hairs weren't here a month or so ago. But they're now doing it, and she's obtaining length. But this is good because you'll see Nisi next year, well, unless she cuts her hair. And I'm not going to let her do that. And she doesn't want to do it, so that's great. Because I want you guys to see, and she's volunteered to do this. So we're going to hold her feet to the fire. We want her to get long hair. So next year she'll have a fro bigger than mine. She said, okay, yay. Okay, so how's that side, Nisi? How's it feeling?
It's feeling great.
Super, super. And see how much her hair is stretching out? This is what you must have. You cannot just use a small amount of product. When you have really dry hair, and on your shampoo day, you have to use more. But once your hair is healthier, use less and less. I use very small amount every night, and I'm really good. All right, the other piece that you would want to do is, let's just say we're going to do a shampoo and go day. So we've got hair vitamin back here, and we're just going to put our hydration, and we're going to get our hydration all around the hairline. And I'm just going to, get Lisa to turn for me. There you go. There, huh? Okay, you good. Just turn just a little bit. And she's very spiral hair. It's beautiful. And I think that you're beginning to get a new appreciation for your hair, aren't you, Nisi?
Yes, I am.
Because it was like, oh, it's so dry. Oh, I want to do it. And she just kept it in a little, pulled up in a really short, shrunken fro. But now we could do more because it really just knowing how to work with your hair. And here's a little twist. I think you had hid back here. There you go. All right. So I'm just going to take this whole section. And then I'm going to take my hydration and I'm going to move it between. Here we go. And here. And then one of the things that Nisi, you're still doing is you kind of keep your hair up. If you get like a conditioning treatment or a hydration treatment, you just keep your hair in your twist. And tell me about that. Tell me why you do that.
I'm kind of lazy about taking care of my hair. And I'm active too. I go running a lot. And so sometimes I just say, well, I'm going to leave my hair up.
Is it too much work?
Sometimes it's a lot of work. It's not just like you can just put a little oil on it and run out the door. You notice we're working it through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I forgot that once it is up, I still have to put some oil and hydration on it.
Every night. If you're going to wear your hair twist and you're going to leave it in the twist, each night you have to spray down each twist.
Okay.
With your vitamin, and then you have to use your hydration on top of it.
Okay.
And then at that point, you can just use something like your oil sheeting jar to seal, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take this area, and I'll turn it just, there we go. And I'm just going to seal using the oil sheeting jar. And as you can see, now you can oil your scalp, or you can just work each section using the oil sheeting jar. Got little hairs there. See, I'm going to each little section because that's how you get the even distribution. Because what happens when you have very dry hair, you are not going to be able to keep your moisture levels up. It's going to try and dissipate the moisture. So you seal it with the oil and you'll be amazed at how hydrated it stays. And I'm going to use my human comb, and then we're going to use a regular comb. See, when you see how I'm going through with my human comb, and so many of you guys love using combs, so I'm going to pull a comb out. And if you're going to use a comb, you can comb through it, and you can work through, but if you feel any tangles, be careful. See, I can go right through. I just don't like using a comb, but if you're going to use a comb, this is the best way to do it. You start out with your comb, you slide your fingers, and then your comb goes behind it. So you slide and comb, slide and comb. That way you can feel if any tangles are there. Okay? That's enough of the comb. Okay. Now, this is an area where if she did a shampoo and go, she would have nice shine. She can add the natural texture, then the oil sheeting jar at the end to have the even distribution. Excuse me, or seal in the moisture. So anyways, Nisi, any questions? We got about a minute left.
No.
That you think that would be helpful to our viewers?
Just remember, even though you don't take your twist down, put some hair oil on it. And some hair vitamin, spray with hair vitamin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't do that.
And we're going to take her twist down, speaking of that, and just to show you how the definition is already beginning to come in place. And you saw us do something similar to this on a video with Nisi. See that? Beautiful. Just nice, beautiful curls. I'm just going to separate them. And there we go. And you didn't do a bad job over there, Nisi. Great.
Good.
Well, I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. Thank you guys so much. And Denise, I hope this helps your group. Please, please, please send me an email reply if you need other questions answered. I just wanted to keep it simple, keep it easy, and keep it fresh for you because I know you guys can do this. All right? I'll see you next time on Video Response and Team Time. All right, talk to you guys later.
Bye.